I've been trying to change my life for the past 6 months. This is the halfway point into my experiment. Hello dearest friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you haven't been here before. My name is Anna, and it's quite interesting that you found me in this particular video, which is the halfway point of my 52-week experiment to try and change my life little by little with no pressure. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, please go in the cards and feel free to watch the other ones after you've watched this one so that you have a bit more context. And if you do enjoy this video, I'm going to remind you right away to drop a like, subscribe, and just go on with me in this journey. Where to begin? When I started this experiment in January, I was excited, motivated, and I was determined to make sure that this wouldn't be a strain on me and that no matter what I did, I would see some type of result by the end of the year. Thinking about the 1% improvement concept, I was thinking there has got to be some type of improvement. And while this may be true, I've come to realize, at least in my case, that everything you do is a trade-off. This is what this halfway point is all about. Over the course of the past 6 months, so little and so much has changed. First off, the really big thing that has been a topic for the previous videos, I quit my job. I was kindly asked to leave and I was excited to leave as well. So I left that toxic job. I had previously been hired in December. I only worked there for 5 months and it was a bit unfortunate, but also quite necessary. I realized that not only the job was not really for me, it was also causing a lot of distress and despair in my mental and physical health. I was losing my mind and I was losing my health because of this job. Obviously, the revenue I was getting from that job, the extra revenue, was a really good, it was a good thing to have. If you remember, I had some milestones I wanted to reach by July and by December. And since I had to quit that job, I can honestly say there's been a little setback. Not so little, but there's been a setback and I've had to tap into my savings, which is what they're made for. But I would be lying if I said it didn't upset me a little bit. We're not really worse off, we just haven't moved as much as I'd planned, positively. Now, one of the things I told you about is exercise and my fat loss and my appearance-wise improvement. I'd taken you through the process of me buying my cordless jump rope and using it on a daily basis, but at some point I got pain in my feet and my legs and my joints. Unfortunately or fortunately, I was made to put aside all of the exercise and fat loss because I had to focus on something deeper. I needed to focus on my joints, my muscle issues. I needed to focus on my posture issues. This is really helping because I can honestly say I do see a difference in my posture. The doctors also see quite a clear difference in my posture. Once I'm done working with physical therapy doctors, I will be allowed to practice sports. I will be allowed to jump rope. I will be allowed and encouraged to do sports such as Pilates and soft sports. In a way, we just kind of changed the path that we were taking. I do have hope for the next 6 months that me working on this with the deep actual foundation of my physical health and appearance is going to change things for me. You've heard me talk about my ED and the distress I get from it. I am happy to report that I do see some improvements. Hooray! I went through the legalization process of many different foods. It started with Haribo bears and different types of sweets, Kinder chocolate, the chocolate bars. I just kept moving on to something else and something new every time. Somehow I now know how to stop eating, when to stop eating, and now I can do that. I don't have to order as much food anymore. And it's not really about, I never finish my food, or I always leave something. It's more about I'm learning the cues of my body. And that is something that for me is absolutely incredible. Along with these two elements, the legalizing the foods and being able to stop, I am now able to have foods in my home that were once considered dangerous, that I would stay away from, and that I would think, okay, I would much rather not buy them and not even look at them. And now I don't anymore. I can just have them in my cupboard and not eat them at once. I do not have to ignore them. I also don't have to fight the urge to eat them or resist them. This is one of the biggest feelings of relief. I do not have to be a slave to food, things that are supposed to nourish me. I feel a bit more free. I still have foods that I need to legalize, and I'm going to be working on that. Additionally, I'm getting a little bit better at recognizing hunger cues. Yes, and that's quite amazing for me. I have somehow managed to become a little bit more confident, probably thanks to therapy. No, actually, quite certainly thanks to therapy, and a lot thanks to my best friend, my daddy, and thanks to my mummy as well. I think I am beginning to understand that I have value, regardless of the mistakes that I might have made, regardless of my shortcomings, regardless of my imperfections, regardless of opinions that I might have had that were maybe not correct, that perhaps were actually correct, but I don't know that. And regardless of what other people may or may not think of me, how I may or may not be perceived, or how I may or may not want to be perceived, I have value because I exist. And I'm learning to love myself, and that is giving me a little bit of confidence, even in my endeavors, even in wanting to change aspects of myself for the better. I learned to do it out of love, and not because I hate myself, not because I don't want to accept myself. I look at myself in the mirror, and obviously sometimes I get a bit disheartened, but then under all of the layers of pain, under all the layers of trauma, under all the layers of health issues that might have been caused by the pain and the traumas, I am still the same little girl that I was, and that deserved love, and so I still deserve that love. Finally, and this may not be considered actual progress, I've done so much work on this one little project of mine. I've made a few videos, of course way less than I intended. I really wanted to make 2 videos a month at least, although I haven't gotten tens of thousands or even 1,000 subscribers. I do feel like this little community is growing. There are a few people that I see quite frequently in my comments, and I notice them, and it warms my heart. I want to thank you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for encouraging me to continue. Thank you for being interested. It really makes me feel a little bit special, and it makes me feel like you guys are really special. I will definitely make another video to tell you about my plans for the half year that is left. Remember, moving pebbles. I really hope you will continue being with me until the end of this journey and beyond. That would be really amazing. I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. Subscribe, become part of the community. I've got so much prepared for you. Leave me a comment. Tell me how you are doing if you are on a similar journey. I would love to learn and hear about your opinion and read your opinion, and I'm really excited to continue this with you. I'm really excited to build this community with you, and I'm really excited to be able to look back in 6 months and do this again and hopefully see a bit more progress, or at least see a bit more well-being and see a bit more health and see a bit more happiness. So thank you so much once more for being here with me. Have a lovely rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.